Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know. Come on! Fucking piece of shit. I don't know. There we go. Okay, I am back apparently. But now I need to pop out the chat because I've got a different chat. And go and do the chat. Fuck's sake. I don't know why it's doing this tonight. Boom. There we go. I fucking hate everyone. Anyway, I'm back. So, essentially we've got a two-part stream. That's good. Fucking load of shit. Anyway. Let's carry on. And then we've got, oh, fuck's sake, are we even going to be able to get through the Lauren Chen thing? I don't know.
Thank you. The people of our country and the whole world is watching are seeing things now that they haven't seen in this country for decades. They're seeing us.
Yeah, really, really hideously obvious racism. Like, you used to be able to hide it a little bit better, but now you're just doing the racism out loud again.
Spirit and a resilience like they haven't seen. I just want to thank you and get out and vote. We're going to make this bigger than even 4 years ago. It's more important. This is the most important election we've ever had. This is more important
ever. Even the one in 1864 or 1863, whichever. 1864, which literally was the deciding factor in America being a country anymore. But this is more important because Donald Trump's ego is too large to ever concede that something isn't the biggest or best.
And even 4 years ago, I used to say the most important, and it was true at the time, this is the single most important election in the history of our country. Get out and vote, true. And I love you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyone who's taken in by that shit needs to be fucking certified, frankly. The man's full of shit. Absolute shit. That's insufferable, isn't it? God, he's garbage. Anyway. Are people back now? Are we back, y'all? It's a fact, y'all. Hello, everyone. Some people have made their way over. Hello. I don't even know why it's doing that, though. I know, well, yeah, we've been back to dropping some frames. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get onto the Lauren Chen thing. So let's do that and see if any of it works. I don't know. It's fucking infuriating. Anyway. So, Lauren Chen, for those who remember, used to go by Roaming Millennial. She is trash. Absolute trash. And is now doing out and out white nationalist garbage. I mean, she always has, right? But she used to be a little bit better than she is in this clip, right? She is a person so fucking stupid. She literally called her show pseudo intellectual, which is appropriate. But she's really bad at dog whistling as well. This isn't so much a dog whistle as a dog fucking, I don't even know. It's not. It goes beyond foghorn, nuclear blast alarm. I don't know. Anyway, talking about the Gravel Institute, which is like a kind of the leftist version. It's a new thing. It's like a leftist version of PragerU, which doesn't sound that appealing, but they're a lot better than PragerU. But they do that kind of video style, you know, but from a leftist perspective. Anyway, Lauren comes out with this shit.
There are a lot of differences between the US, Germany, and Finland. But if you ask a socialist why it is that Germany and Finland perform better than the US in certain metrics, they'll say it's because the government is bigger and the taxes are higher. That is the answer to prosperity. Is that right, though?
Firstly, a socialist wouldn't say that. A social democrat would say that. Yeah, okay. I mean, let's just carry on with it. Whatever.
Higher taxes and big government really the answer to Germany and Finland's success? It couldn't possibly be because they have overwhelmingly homogenous populations, right? nations that,
Overwhelmingly homogenous populations. We'll get into it. They don't, by the way. But
by the way, also have a higher average IQ and narrower distribution than the US does.
So basically, black people are stupid.
If it was, there are.
That's the basic shit. Black and brown people are stupid, and that stupidity means we can't have healthcare. Naked, absolutely naked neo-Nazi bullshit going on here. That's precisely what this is. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Nazi nonsense. Absolute dribble. Yeah, I also love the dissonance, the cognitive dissonance involved with these fucking idiots who have been raving for years about how Germany's been taken over by the rape-fugees. Do you remember that? Supposedly all these Syrians coming in raping all these white women, I mean German women. Apparently they've taken over and Germany isn't Germany anymore. But it's also overwhelmingly almost as if they're making up any old shit as they go along in order to try and protect the status quo. God, they are fucking garbage. Also, IQ is not, in any sense, a good indicator of actual intelligence. It's an indicator of, like, education. So basically, if you're from a place that has lots and lots of educational institutions, like, say, America or whatever, or Germany, you're going to have a higher IQ than somewhere else in, say, Sub-Saharan Africa, who are very poor and don't have those schools. It's not an indicator of intelligence, though. Not innate intelligence, or anything like that, which is what these racists try and do, and what Lauren's trying to do here, connect race and IQ, as if either of those things is a worthwhile thing to even talk about in the fucking first place. They're not. It's nonsense. Pseudo-scientific dipshittery. But also, it isn't really true that these other countries have significantly higher IQs anyway. Germany, there, has an average IQ apparently of 100. Finland, 101. Britain at 100. And then America at 98. So there's a difference of 2 points between Germany and Finland. Germany and America. 3 points between Finland and America. So it's not even true that they have an overwhelmingly better IQ than America does. So even if that were a thing that was worth measuring in the first place, which, just to reiterate, it isn't, it doesn't mean telling you, generally speaking, how good the education system is in a place, not about actual intelligence of the people that are there. But even so, even if that were the case, the differences between America and those other countries mentioned is statistically irrelevant. It's nothing. And how does having IQ mean you can't have government spending or healthcare? It literally doesn't mean anything. It's nonsense. Anyway, that then brings us to Shoeonhead. Oh, is it buffering again? Oh! Fuck! Why is it doing this? There's no reason for it to be doing this now. It's plugged in. It says it's connected. Yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what's happening. God, it's infuriating. I'm just going to plow on and see where we go. Anyway. So, Shoeonhead, who's a person I've had issues with in the past and all the rest of it. Anyway, she tweeted out that same video and said, sorry, Americans, you can't have healthcare like the rest of the developed world because of the Browns, which is a good piece of memeing and also basically the literal interpretation of what Lauren said, because that's what Lauren fucking said. So, like I say, I've had my issues with Shoe, but she seems to be on a decent redemption arc, so that's good. You know, that's good in general. Not asking anyone to be like super awesome or bestest best friends with everyone. Just saying, she's doing good work in this regard, taking on Nazi bullshit, and at least pushing for, like, you know, healthcare or whatever. So that's good. Anyway, Now, Lauren, not one to take it lying down or like an adult, decided she was going to do an episode of her show, which, again, I've not made this up. She called the show Pseudo Intellectual. Amazing. Anyway, called Socialist Lies, which was in response to Shoeonhead gently jibing at her on Twitter. Amazing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show and thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to be talking about the dishonesty of Shoeonhead and socialism in general. And I usually
Shoeonhead isn't a socialist, she's a social democrat. Just out of interest, Lauren. I know you do try and address this later, but you dishonestly do so I'm just going to get out ahead of it.
don't like to make videos that could be construed as being drama-centric. That's not the point of this channel. That's not what I'm here for, but...
No, you're here for being a mouthpiece for far-right dipshittery. And your AstroTurf, just like the rest of them. This is on The Blaze, which is Glenn Beck's nonsense, isn't it?
I also don't like being lied about. So that's what we're going to do today.
Oh yeah, the lie she's referring to there. The fundamental bait and switch that she's going to try and do, very unsuccessfully and very unconvincingly, is when she said homogeneity, she didn't mean racial homogeneity, which, Lauren, is a lie. That's literally exactly what you meant.
Clear some stuff up, and before we go any further, I do just want to apologize if I look or sound under the weather. I woke up feeling completely fine, but around an hour ago, my nose started running like a faucet. Sorry for the graphic description, but it's true, and
that's
quite sure what's wrong. I'm hoping it's just allergies, but if my nose happens to get progressively redder throughout this episode, it's because I'm blowing it in between takes. So Shoeonhead is a very, very popular YouTuber who is probably best known for making anti-SJW, anti-feminist type of content, and the odds are that if you've somehow managed to find my content, you've definitely at least heard of her. She is huge, way I would ever hope to be, but...
I'm huge too, but that's just my body mass. Dad jokes.
What's interesting about Shu is that her videos used to be really focused on cultural issues, things like mansplaining, the pink tax, and stuff like that, but lately it seems like she's more interested in hard politics. And in terms of politics, even though Shu is probably best known for being anti-woke, she is a socialist.
She is not a socialist, she is a social democrat.
And no, I don't mean social democrat, she is just literally a...
Yeah, I know you don't mean that, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah, I know that's not what you mean, but you're wrong, you're lying.
Socialist. And since I really don't want to be accused of misconstruing anyone else's beliefs in this episode, I have screenshots to back this up. So here we have a chat log from what looked...
No, when I was first watching this, I thought to myself, please, for the love of God, she's not going to bring up this based abo guy. Now, someone pointed out before, when I mentioned that guy's name, that people of Aboriginal status in Australia don't like being called abos. I know, I'm fully aware of that. That's why I was pointing out that when he calls himself based abo, what he's trying to do there is say, look, I'm one of the good Aboriginals. I'm even prepared to put a slur in my name. So you can trust me, I'm one of the good Browns. That's the point. I know that abo is like not a good term to call people, which is what I don't. But anyway, so I thought to myself, she's not going to bring up that guy, surely. Surely she's going to have a better source than the guy who was creeping around trying to find out, Jesus, the sexual proclivities of Shoeonhead and her now ex-partner. That guy, seriously, he's one of the creepiest motherfuckers I've seen. He's like a stalker. Some people have suggested, although I think incorrectly, that it might be Carl, Sargon of Akkad. Hang on, has he got nuked? Has he got nuked? No, there he is. Why didn't it come up? Anyway, yeah, he was trying to find out about their sex life, and you just think, you fucking creepy weirdo, what are you doing? Where is it? Shoeonhead wants to fuck fash, which I'm certain isn't true, but regardless, even if it is, who cares? Like, why would you give two fucks who she wants to fuck or not fuck or whatever? Where's the thing? There was a really, really creepy one from like yesterday, I think it was. Where where is it? She was a. No, hang on. Greg deleted his Twitter account? Okay. Well, I mean, again, I'm not sure why you give a fuck, but whatever. There was definitely a thing. They've gotten rid of it? Oh no, she was wearing a guillotine shirt. Oh no, terrible. I don't care. Oh, where is it? Oh, anyway, he was gonna. He was going on about her being a female cuck and stuff. It was really, really creepy. I can't find it though. Wow, he tweets a lot, man. Fuck. Anyway, yeah, and then he goes back to that. I can't find the fucking thing. But basically, he was going on about their sex life and how apparently she was a female cuck for Greg or whatever. And you think, I mean, even if that's true, why do you give a fuck about that? Why are you trying to find out information on shit? That's really, really fucking skeezy. But that's who this journalist, Lauren Chen, has used as a source.
It's like a Discord server, and just in case anyone isn't familiar with a Discord server, they're kind of like chat rooms. So it's very different than something like a DM, which would...
They're kind of like chat rooms. You can tell she knows that she's dealing with... Her audience is boomers, basically. Boomer, fucking Glenn Beck types, right? And you can tell that because she's having to explain what a Discord server is to her elderly audience.
Be more private, and I definitely wouldn't be okay with someone leaking those. But at one point, after being asked, why are you still so hesitant to call yourself a socialist, besides the PR thing, she replied, I just don't want to LARP as something I don't understand enough.
Yeah, a female cook. Basically, I mean, you can be a female cook, can't you? Isn't that when you just... if it's like regular cuckoldery, but the man fucks another woman while the woman watches. Wouldn't that would still be the same dynamic? Which, by the way, if you're into that, fucking go for it. I don't care who you are or whatever. If everyone's consenting and happy, go for it. But I think surely that's probably a thing. The amount of weird shit some people are into, I would not surprise me if there are people like that. Yeah, so that's fine. Anyway, but the point is, why would you care? You don't know these people. Their sex life is of absolutely no concern to you. Stop. Literally fucking stop. It's weird. But yeah, look, as you can see there, is that on the screen? Yeah. Based Abo. That's the person she's gone to. That creepy motherfucker who really, I mean, if you're listening, you're probably not. But if you're listening, I would suggest maybe looking into the legal avenues of getting a restraining order on this person. They're probably a little bit dangerous. Anyway, yeah, that's the person that Lauren is using as a source. Okay.
Socialism on paper would be neat, but it's not going to happen, so we should get the country as close as possible, like, to which the other person asked, and if we do get to the point where the Nordic countries are, then what? Would you be a socialist? And Shu said, yeah, most likely. So the other person replied,
so she would be a socialist in the hypothetical scenario, which isn't going to happen, certainly not in the very near future, arguably probably not within our lifetimes, that America got to a situation where it was the social democratic Nordic model, which again is all that Bernie Sanders was suggesting, and he was too extreme for America in the mainstream for the most part. In that situation she might be a socialist, so okay, but that means that she's now not a socialist. As she says here, no, I'm a suck dem. Okay. Like, I mean, so you're already showing us, that you're lying.
So you're a socialist? To which she replied, no, I'm a social democrat, with the little echo parentheses thing. I know the term socialist is used against left-wing people a lot to kind of conjure up this Red Scare type of thing, but...
Yeah, because you do it all the time, Lauren. That's why you know it is, because you're part of that.
Just know that when I say socialist in this context and in regard to Shoeonhead, I'm being serious.
Yeah, you're being serious, and you're being seriously stupid and seriously dishonest.
she's a socialist. Now, last week, or at least I think it was last week, I did a video responding to the Gravel
I wish she was. I wish everyone was, but it's not the case.
Institute, who are pretty much trying to be the socialist equivalent of Prager of theirs that I responded to, was all about how big government is actually good. And no, that's not oversimplification on my part or anything like that. It's actually advocating for big government. Keep that in mind going into this, and here is a particular clip that I think it's important you all see.
Like Germany or Finland, that have lower rates of poverty and higher rates of economic mobility. The American dream is more alive in these big government countries than in America.
There are a lot of differences between.
You see, the Gravel Institute is doing like PragerU style videos, but from a left-wing perspective. And from what I've seen, it's not like the level of ludicrous dishonesty you get with Prager.
Between the US, Germany, and Finland. But if you ask a socialist why it is that Germany and Finland perform better than the US in certain metrics.
So this is Lauren playing the clip from the previous video anyway.
They'll say it's because the government is bigger and the taxes are higher. That is the answer to prosperity. Is that right though?
I don't think that, again, that's what social democrats would say. That's the social democratic model you're arguing for. Or arguing against, I should say. But, hang on, fucking Rory Katz wants to get in, because he's a twat. Come on. Get in. Come on. Oh, he's a knob. Anyway. See, he waits for me to sit down, then comes in. Knob. Come here. Earn your fucking keep. Look how cute that cat is. Look at him. Absolute legend. What? Go on. Anyway, where was I? I hope it wasn't buffering for that bit. Already gets. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what a social democrat would say, basically. Jordan. I misread that name as Jordan Peterson. I thought, is he? Is he come? Has he blessed me with his presence? JBP, but no. Anyway. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So let's.
Higher taxes and big government really the answer to Germany and Finland's success? It couldn't possibly be because they have overwhelmingly homogenous, right?
Well, no, they don't really. I mean, to be fair, Finland is one of the countries mentioned. Does okay? It's like 91% or something Finnish, but there are also Swedes and a group called the Sami, which are like a minority ethnic community. But Germany, most assuredly, is not ethnically homogenous. Let's take a look. I brought receipts, motherfuckers. Here we go. Where are we? Where's the number I'm looking for? Germany, witnesses birth rates. No. Here we go. The majority of migrants live in West Germany and Britain. Of the country's residents, 18.6 million, 22.5%, so nearly a quarter, were of migrant or partially migrant descent in 2016. In 2015, a population division of the United Nations Department for Economic... second highest number of immigrants in the world, 12,244 of all the 244 million. So, basically, nearly a quarter of all of Germany's residents were immigrant or partially immigrant. So, no, Lauren, Germany is not ethnically homogenous. Now, you're going to claim you don't mean ethnic homogeneity. You're a liar. They're not homogenous, okay? They come from different parts of the world. Now, like I say, Finland is relatively ethnically homogenous, but its neighbour next door, Sweden, which, for the purposes of our conversation, is perfectly applicable because we're talking about countries that have healthcare, have publicly funded healthcare, of which Sweden is one of those countries. Oh, pardon me. Where are we? In 2019, there were 2,634,000 of foreign background children born, foreign born or children of international immigrants, comprising 25% of the Swedish population. So again, a quarter of Sweden's population, a quarter are first or second generation, okay? Of these inhabitants, 2 million, so the vast bulk of them were born abroad. So about 20% were born abroad, 25% first and second generation. So again, has a publicly funded, universal, ethnically homogenous. Interesting. France, another country which has a publicly funded healthcare system, one of the best healthcare systems in the world. I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm sure French people can tell you all about that. But certainly a very good public healthcare system, one of the best in the world, and is by no means ethnically homogenous. Where are we? France remains one of the major destinations. Where's the number I'm looking for? There we go. So, around 20% basically. In 2008, the National Institute for Statistics and Economic Studies estimated the total of foreign-born immigrants at 5 million, which is about 8% of the population, with their French descendants numbering 6.5 million, or 11%. So basically you add 11 and 8 up, 19% of France. 19% of France, so a fifth, are either first or second generation immigrants. So again, not homogenous, but does have a publicly funded healthcare system and strong social safety net. Again, French people, I'm sure you can pick holes in all of that in terms of how strong the social safety net is. I'm sure there are social democrats and socialists of French extraction or French residents who could argue the point about how it is and maybe it should be stronger. But the point is, compared to America, it's incredibly strong. Okay, that's the point here. Not ethnically homogenous, has a strong social safety net, has publicly funded healthcare. So Lauren's point here about ethnic homogeneity allowing for that is fucking trash. Absolute nonsense. So the IQ differences, not that they matter, but even if they did, are minimal to the point of being basically worthless, and ethnic homogeneity means nothing. Nothing.
Populations that, by the way, also have a higher average IQ and narrower distribution than the US does. If it was true that you could just big government and tax any population into happiness and success, then the story of the Soviet Union would be very different. I stand by everything I...
Also, to the person in the chat going on about tax, actually, public funded healthcare systems are actually cheaper than the private shithole you've got in America at the minute, and it covers everyone. Unlike the thing you've got in America, right? Are we back? Are we back? Hopefully we are. Are we back? There we go. Okay, we're still there. Okay, good. Apologies. Anyway. Yeah, I was just saying, when it cut off there. See, to the person in the chat going on about taxes, America's most prosperous and economically mobile period was when you had an 80+% top rate of tax, okay? Which goes against the idea that she's making here about low taxation meaning better prosperity. It's not true. Secondly, the idea that Lauren is trying to set up here, that she is small government and her opponents are big government, is not true, because she's not small government. The idea that conservatives in America, or anywhere frankly, are for small government is a fucking joke. The fact that they're trying to set up that paradigm is laughable. Lauren and her conservative, neo-fascist acolytes want a strong border and a massive military budget and all of that. What they don't want, what they're arguing against when they say small government, is what they don't want is brown people and poor people getting anything. They want them driven into the fucking dirt. They're garbage. The Lauren and her conservative peeps are absolute trash. They're not for small government unless it means Sorry, unless they're referring directly to poor people, brown people getting like healthcare and stuff like that. That's the only thing they care about. Other than that, they're massively pro-big government. Ooh, build a wall, a pointless, massive, expensive wall. Yay, big government.
I said in that video, it is a huge oversimplification to try to attribute Germany and Finland's bigger governments and higher government spending levels to their lower poverty and higher economic mobility levels. The US has historically, thanks to chain migration, had tons of people coming into the country every year with less wealth, less education, and less skill than the native population. Of course, when every single...
Interesting that she says native population, given that it's Indigenous Peoples Day. Lauren, you're full of shit. The people who were there, originally, the native people, the actually native people, were slaughtered by white people, who you then call native. That's who you're referring to. You're referring to white people. Let's not beat around the bush. You're talking about white people who are not native to the Americas.
Year you have people coming in who maybe don't speak your language so well, probably don't have a lot of savings themselves, and may not be very skilled workers. There's going to be a certain amount of poverty that comes alongside that. And I still very much believe in the American dream. I think in America, you are more likely to succeed than anywhere else.
In America, you are more likely to succeed than anywhere else. Is that true, Lauren? Is that remotely true? The answer to that is no. Obviously, I've got receipts. Social mobility. This is according to the World Economic Forum, the Global Social Mobility Report 2020, Equality, Opportunity and a New Economic Imperative. You go down to page 7. You have the International Global Social Mobility Index. Finland. Sweden. We talked about not homogenous, not ethnically homogenous at all. Number 4. Good stuff. The Netherlands, again, not ethnically homogenous. Number 6. Belgium, not ethnically homogenous. Places Germany. We looked at Germany, not ethnically homogenous. Number 11. Britain, all the way down at 21. Not a great showing, but still significantly better than the United States at 27. Below that great economic superpower, Lithuania. No offence to Lithuania, but when you think of like countries where you can make it big, you don't necessarily think of Lithuania. It's not necessarily there, but there's still more social mobility in Lithuania, the former Soviet country, or Soviet Republic, which is now an independent country, than the United States. Look at the countries America is below. Estonia, Singapore, Ireland, Malta. What the How can you possibly sit there and say you've got more chance of making it in America than anywhere else? You're a fucking liar, Lauren. You're full of shit.
But still, that success takes time. And it is true that recently Germany has been taking in a larger share of migrants, but that still doesn't compare to the generations and generations that has been going on in the US.
Right, but what difference does that make? What's the point you're going to make from that? And you know you're thinking to yourself, well, let it play. She doesn't make any point beyond that. It's a slightly different type of immigration. Therefore, checkmate, atheists.
And of course, it is true that there are tons of immigrants in Germany and the US and every country you can think of who...
So how are they homogenous?
...are not only very well educated, but actually better educated and wealthier than the native population of the country they're moving to. But still, by and large, most countries work with some sort of family reunification plan when it comes to immigration.